Wycliffe Hall is a Church of England theological college and a permanent private hall of the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom. The college is named after John Wycliffe, master of Balliol College, Oxford in the 14th century. Founded in 1877, Wycliffe Hall provides theological training for candidates for ordained ministry in the Church of England as well as other Anglican and non-Anglican churches. The college also prepares people for lay ministry. There are also a number of independent and undergraduate students studying theology. It is rooted in the evangelical tradition of the Church of England. History. Wycliffe Hall was founded in 1877 to train Christian workers as pastors and missionaries, especially as clergy within the Church of England and the wider Anglican Communion. It is one of more than 20 Anglican theological colleges established in England during the late 19th century. Its sister college is Ridley Hall, Cambridge, which opened in 1881. It was founded following evangelical public meetings in 1876 where the concerns were raised about how the majority of clergy are professionally ignorant. The college is named after John Wycliffe, master of Balliol College, Oxford, in the 14th century. He was a philosopher and theologian who argued for biblical theology. One of the founders of Wycliffe was J.C. Ryle, a bishop of Liverpool and theologian. For many centuries the University of Oxford was explicitly Christian and Anglican. It was officially secularized by the Oxford University Act 1854 and the Universities Tests Act 1871, when it was open to students and lecturers of all religious faiths and none. Wycliffe Hall's vision was to maintain the teaching of biblical and evangelical theology at Oxford. Its first pioneers aimed to promote doctrinal truth and vital godliness. Its Victorian trust deed upholds the 39 Articles of Religion, which is the part of the English Reformation heritage of the Church of England, although it now welcomes students from all Christian denominations. Since the 19th century, the college has had close links with the Oxford Intercollegiate Christian Union and the Oxford Pastorate, two evangelical organizations working with Oxford students. During the First World War, Wycliffe Hall housed refugees from Serbia and trainees from the Royal Flying Corps who built a practice aeroplane in the dining hall. In 1929, Wycliffe Hall staff and students on pilgrimage to Jerusalem were commissioned as peacekeepers during riots in Palestine. One student was shot through the shoulder. William Henry Griffith Thomas, one of Wycliffe Hall's best-known principals and a noted theologian, is remembered by a bronze bust in the dining room. In 1996, Wycliffe Hall became a permanent private hall of the University of Oxford, under the leadership of Alistair McGrath. In 2005 it launched the Oxford Centre for Christian Apologetics in partnership with the Zacharias Trust. Recent history. Wycliffe became a focus of media attention in 2007 when a significant number of the academic staff left, including the vice principal and head of pastoral theology. 3 former principals wrote to the chair of the college council to protest about the way staff complaints of being bullied were ignored. The crisis continued as a member of the council also resigned, having no confidence in the chair of council, Bishop James Jones. The issues became public as members of the academic faculty lodged grievances against the principal, Richard Turnbull, for bullying. After monitoring by the university, senior academics at Oxford complained that the curriculum was narrow and offered students insufficient intellectual development. That year the bishop and the college were taken to an employment tribunal and admitted breaking the law. In In 2009 the college was inspected by the Bishop's Inspection. It was commended in some departments, but the inspectors expressed no confidence in its practical and pastoral theology. Shortly after, the Bishop, James Jones, resigned as chair. In May 2012, under a new chair, the Bishop of Chester, the principal was given leave of absence from the college and he stepped down the following month. Late in 2012, the college began advertising for a new principal who could offer wide and generous understanding of the major trends in contemporary Anglican evangelicalism, together with high-level pastoral skills. In December 2012 it was announced that the Rev. Michael, Bishop of Bristol, had become chair of the college's council. The process of appointment of a new principal stalled in January 2013. The Hall Council considered that 5 candidates were of real quality, but that none of them offered the desired balance of skills and attributes required. In April 2013, the college announced that the Rev. Michael Lloyd, chaplain of Queen's College, Oxford, had been appointed as principal, and he took up the position in the middle of the year. Buildings. Wycliffe Hall's buildings were first designed in the 1860s as family houses, until converted to the present use. Tom Arnold, literary scholar and brother of Matthew Arnold, once lived there. The chapel was opened by the Bishop of Oxford in 1896 and has a stained glass window representing John Wycliffe. The building at 52 Banbury Road, at the junction with Norham Gardens, was designed by Frederick Codd in 1868. It initially housed the Holy Rood Convent. The building at 54 Banbury Road was designed by John Gibbs in 1866, with additions by William Wilkinson and Harry Wilkinson Moore in 1882-3. Wycliffe Hall was established in 1877 and started at No. 54, adding No. 52 in 1883. A chapel was added between the houses in 1896, designed by architect George Wallace. Academic achievements. In 2012, the college topped the University of Oxford's Norrington table, winning each of the theology prizes and with all 5 BA students achieving a first-class degree. Associated people. Academics: Alistair McGrath, Northern Irish theologian, priest, intellectual historian, scientist, and Christian apologist. The Rev. Oliver O'Donovan, Christian ethicist. Principals: Robert Baker Girdleston, 1877-1889. Francis James Chavis, 1889-1900, Henry George Gray, 1900-1905, William Griffith Thomas, 1905-1910, Henry George Gray, 1910-1918, Henry Bojan Gooding, 1919-1925, Francis Graham Brown, 1925-1932. John Taylor, 1932-1942. Julian Thornton Dewsbury, 1943-1944. Julian Thornton Dewsbury, 1945-1955. James Peter Hickenbotham, 1970-1978. Geoffrey Shaw, 1978-1988. R.T. France, 1989-1995. Alistair McGrath, 1995-2005. Richard Turnbull, 2005-2012. Michael Lloyd, 2013 to present. Alumni: Jonathan Aitken, politician, author and broadcaster. The Rev. Wilbert Veeraudrey, creator of the Railway series of children's books. The Rev. James Harold Bell. The Rev. and R.T. Hon Lord Coggan, Archbishop of Canterbury, 1974-1980. The Rev. Carl N. Cooper, Verrier Elwyn. The Rev. Joseph Fison. William Henry Temple Gardner, missionary in Cairo and amongst Muslims, apologist. The Rev. Nicky Gumbel, vicar of Holy Trinity Brompton and developer of the Alpha course. The Rev. Ian Harlan. The Rev. Canon James Hickenbotham, Principal, St. John's College and Cranmer Hall, Durham, Principal, Wycliffe Hall. The Rev. Sally Hitchina. Michael Horton, theologian. The Rev. James Stuart Jones, Bishop of Liverpool, 1998–present. D. Michael Lindsay, President of Gordon College, Massachusetts. The very Rev. June Osborne. The Rev. J. I. Packer, author and theologian. The Rev. Vaughan Roberts, rector of St. Ebbe's Church, Oxford and president of the Proclamation Trust. Lamina Sanko. The Rev. Alan Gregory Clayton Smith. The Rev. Ray R. Sutton. The Rev. Bill Sykes, chaplain of University College, Oxford and author. The Rev. John Vernon Taylor. The Rev. Rico Tice, evangelist, co-writer of the Christianity Explored course. The Rev. Rachel Treywick, Bishop of Gloucester. The Rev. Canon Vernon White. The Rev. David Grant Williams. The Rev. Paul Gavin Williams. The Rev. N.T. Wright, writer and theologian, former Bishop of Durham. The Rev. David Young.